I don't know anything about the content or the speakers. I just know I'll meet people who are going to be part of my future. I mentioned last time that I spent the last week in Fiji with some of the smartest, most generous founders, leaders, and CEOs on the planet. Some new friends, some old connections, and many who have been friends for 10 years or more. Exceptionally cool people that, I kind of want to name drop, but people always say, wow, you know that person? It's like, yeah, we've been friends since way back before he, she was that person you think you know publicly. And as leaders, we need that. People who know us for who we are, at our best, at our worst, and everything in between. Being a CEO can be lonely and overwhelming journey. The weight of decision making, the pressure to perform, the constant need for innovation can really create a sense of isolation. And without the right support network, it's easy to feel like you're navigating these challenges alone. Traditional leadership approaches often focus on internal strategies, and that's not a bad place to start. But what if the key to overcoming these challenges lies outside of you and outside of your organization? Last week, one of my longtime friends and mentors told a story about wanting to go to a high-profile, super exclusive event. It's one of those things impossible to get into. And his wife was asking him, who the speakers were. He's like, I don't know. So what's the content? He goes, I don't know. She's like, well, why do you want to go? And he said, I just know I will meet people there who are going to be part of my future. And he was 100% right about that. And that story really resonated with me because that has been my experience with this group and a handful of others. And certainly the exception, there's a lot of groups out there that are kind of so-so, but well worth the effort to go try to find the hidden gems. And here are just a few of the ways that they impact me and my success. One of my first big takeaways was shared wisdom and experience. A great community or peer group brings together leaders from diverse industries and backgrounds, and that's absolutely the case here. And in engaging with peers, I've gained a wealth of knowledge and experience that can provide fresh perspectives on common challenges. They see what I can't. They've experienced what I have and what I haven't. And getting perspective from someone who's faced similar issues accelerates problem solving and sparks innovative ideas, especially when they give with no strings attached. And the second big one is emotional support and accountability. The pressure of leading a company can be intense, but being a part of a community provides emotional support that's often missing in the CEO role. And I know some of you are tough guys, all business, never a down moment, but peer groups provide a safe space to share struggles, fears, successes with others who understand the unique challenges of leadership. Now, I read a quote this last week, hang out with winners, that way when you talk about your wins, it won't sound like bragging. I thought that is just one of the greatest things I've ever heard. But having that support network around you when things are great, when things are not so great. And a support network not only helps reduce stress, but also holds us as CEOs accountable for our goals. Because a lot of times, there's nobody else in the organization, maybe the board to some degree, but it holds us accountable to our goals, fostering both personal and professional growth. And my group has been there for highs, for lows, when I was absolutely burning out, when I was burning down, I was ready to quit, and when I was ready to soar. And there is so much value in that. And the third big one for me is expanded networks and opportunities. And this one has absolutely been huge. It opens doors to new opportunities and crazy situations, people that you meet and come in contact with and build relationships with. A couple of events ago, I'm sitting between someone on the left who's won 21 Emmys, one side, and someone on the other side, 16 Grammys. I mean, totally different networks than mine, right? And whether that's through strategic partnerships, collaborations, or simply expanding your professional network, being part of a peer group can lead to valuable connections that might otherwise be beyond our reach, or be introduced to people that are just completely outside of our sphere of influence. Very cool stuff. But those kinds of relationships, you build those over time, and it drives business growth, creates opportunities for all sorts of things, mentorship, learning, or sometimes, even better, they can just develop into great friendships. And every time that we get together, I leave different. And it's almost like a tattoo, forever marked, forever impacted, forever changed. And I can say with complete confidence that this last week, I met people who are absolutely going to be part of my future. Have you had value from communities and peer groups like that? Hey, if you're open to it, check out our group specifically for SaaS founders and tech-enabled service leaders at championleadership.com. And let me know in the comments below what impact communities and peer groups have had in your life.